What's up, guys? So this is my Everest. So what is this concept of my Everest? So usually when someone refers to their Everest, it is some highest point or most challenging goal that can seem impossible to them to achieve. So in this document series, I'm essentially going to try and capture my journey towards getting to the peak, right? Getting to my Everest. So in this case, of April of 2025, My Everest consists of 3 races, all happening within the next 12 months. These races are the San Diego Tri-Classic, which is an Olympic distance triathlon, Hyrax Anaheim, and the Ironman Oceanside, which is going to be a half Ironman distance. If you're not familiar with either of these 3 races and what they consist of, the distances, and all that, I will talk about that in a future video and go into depth about each of those. So again, the reason I'm doing this video series is to capture my progress and my journey so that I can look back myself over the course of months and I guess relish in all the efforts and the progress I've made up until that point. I think that's going to be super important for me to want to have in my life, but also I know there's going to be some low points in these training sessions and training blocks that I'm going to want to look back, watch these videos, and just encourage myself some more. And this is something that I have found online before, on YouTube, I guess, watching other amateur athletes, I guess, watching some actual pro athletes to document their efforts in some of these races, and I just think that's a really awesome. It ends up being a really awesome story they get to tell, and I want to do the same, and hopefully maybe encourage others like me to try and accomplish their Everest. So, like I said, these races are going to happen within the next 12 months, so there's going to be a whole lot to document and share with you guys. So some of those things will be my training plan, my nutrition, my supplements, my training gear. I will track and show my physical changes in my body as well as my training progress. So the training progress is actually what I'm super pumped about because I'm working on a program right now that's going to actually pull all the data off my Apple Watch and be able to track and visualize my health data, at least in a way that I would like to see. And I'll share that with you guys too. Maybe you'll find that as interesting as I will. So lastly, like, why am I doing these races? So, in my life right now, and I'll definitely share more of this as time goes on, but it's April, and then August of last year, I finished my master's degree while working full time. And this was something I had committed to a couple of years before that and went all in on. And usually when I commit to something and I go all in on it, I go all in on it. So I was absorbed in school and work and neglected a lot of other parts of my life, like my health. So after finishing school, kind of decompressing from all that effort, I kind of have revived my passion for fitness. So I want to like go at it with a bang, I guess, and pick 3 hard races, train for them, not only complete them, but complete them in time and efforts that seem honestly impossible to me right now. So in 2019, I did a triathlon for the first time. That was my first time doing anything remotely like this. But the swim was canceled the day before. So I technically have never done a triathlon. So there's other part of me that's always been passionate about wanting to do these races, and making that commitment and putting in that effort and joining that community of people who embrace the challenge and get to reap the rewards of accomplishing those races. Yeah, and then the Hyrax, the Hyrax was my girlfriend's idea. She had brought it up to me to do. I started watching some videos on it, and I mean, it looks super cool. It looks super fun. So I used to do CrossFit, kind of, back in high school. This is not necessarily CrossFit. It's more like a cross-training style of workout, but it seems like something that's going to be super fun for me and her to do together, as well as my brother and one of his friends will be joining us. So that'd be really fun for us to document as well. And then the Half Ironman, like, I'll go more into that because that is a little further down the road than the other two races. But like, the Ironman has got to be the peak of badass races, and you know, I need that. I want a piece of that. I want to start off with the Half Ironman, and that comes from some recommendations from a friend of mine. And then who knows? We'll see. Maybe we'll try the full Ironman sometime next year, later in the year. But yeah, so it's time to get to work. It's time to get to work. I'm committed. I'm looking forward to this, and I'm looking forward to sharing with future Matt and anyone else watching. So let's get it done. What's up, baby? Say hi to everybody. Okay. What is up? So we just did 5 miles this morning. Average pace was 9 minutes 48 seconds, and I could feel it for the whole run. So we've had a lot of volume this week. Today's Thursday. Tuesday evening we had a hour bike ride. Yesterday we had 5 mile run in the morning and a leg workout in the afternoon. Then today's 5 mile run. So my body's feeling it. So we'll give it a rest this evening and see how Friday morning we feel. So I wanted to take this time to talk a little bit about the breakdown for the 3 races that I have coming up, and when those are happening. So like I mentioned, the 3 races I'm doing is the San Diego Tri-Classic, Hyrax Anaheim, and the Ironman Oceanside, which is a half Ironman. So the San Diego Tri-Classic is scheduled for September 13th, 2025. And then Hyrax Anaheim is scheduled for the weekend December 13th to December 14th. I'm not actually sure which date I race for the partners, the duo. I should really look up what that's called. And then Ironman Oceanside is March 28th, 2026. So those are all about 3 months. 3 months from each other. I'm doing that math right. 3 months from each other. So training volume will fluctuate over the next year, right around a month out from the San Diego Tri-Classic. We will taper down from volume after increasing it from now until then. And then we'll have to kind of switch gears from triathlon training into more of a cross training style. I think that the cardio will pay off. We'll continue to do that. I've heard a lot of people say training for a Hyrax is kind of like training for a half marathon. So I think we'll be in good shape there. It's going to be mostly about keeping my body healthy with the volume that we have to do. And the Ironman that's happening in Oceanside of March of next year, in between the Hyrax and that, we'll have to essentially, again, switch gears back to a similar training block that we have now, but hopefully be in a much stronger cardio shape. So, but we'll cross that bridge when we get there. But yeah, looking forward to this. Hope I can keep the same energy, same passion to this whole prep. So, all right, it's time for breakfast. Say bye. Oh, good girl. All right, thanks for watching. That was it for this week's video. Next week, we'll talk a little bit about the training plan I have set up and go into a little bit about some of the equipment I will be using throughout this first prep. So thanks for watching. Say bye, Kaida.